So, you need to learn sales and marketing. And you found yourself in need to do sales and do marketing, but you're new to it and you don't know where to start. Okay? Perhaps you looked into some sales and marketing training and you found it just full of gimmicks and you don't know how to apply them because they only taught you the surface level techniques, the surface level gimmicks. They never addressed the underlying principles based on science, the science of human nature, the science of sales and marketing. Or perhaps you are intimidated about doing sales and doing marketing. Or perhaps you're intimidated about learning sales and learning marketing. And in this class, we're going to address all of those problems. We're going to explain the science of sales and marketing, the principles of science and marketing based on science, based on the science of human nature. All right? Not just human behavior, but human nature. Human behavior is such a surface level observation without going into some deeper level science principles. We're going to remove you intimidation about doing sales, doing marketing, and we're going to remove you intimidation about learning sales and learning marketing. So you should have no problem from this point on feeling congruent about doing sales, doing marketing, even though you are new at it. And you should have no problem learning the sales and marketing techniques and gimmicks because you will be able to understand the principles behind them. And when you experience advertising, marketing, sales material, right, you will be able to decipher, to dissect, to understand what principle, what science are they utilizing in their sales and marketing effort. And also, bonus, that is, you won't be sold anymore. You won't be sold because someone else, some other marketing guru, some salesperson used some gimmick based on their understanding of science and human nature and sold you something by manipulating your emotions. So you ended up buying something you don't need just because you didn't understand science of sales and marketing. And we're going to start with super easy by giving you a brief history of sales and marketing. So you feel easy about doing sales and doing marketing. That's if you're currently feeling intimidated, you have some moral qualms, you have hang-ups about doing sales and marketing. You think it's not an honorable profession. It's not an honest activity. No, quite contrary to that, okay? You see, sales and marketing, okay, is a phenomenon after industrialization. Pre-industrialization, there's never a plenty supply of something. Everything was in short supply. Most people engaged in agriculture, the primary production of food. A small number of people are artisans. They made crafts like horseshoes, like a saddle for the horse, all right? And even fewer number of people engaged in trade and commerce, bring merchandises from one location to another. And because of the lack of humans' ability to produce, there isn't a lot of merchandises, products, and goods, and people's living standards were low, extremely low. Think of life before electricity, running water, modern toilets, okay, modern roads, all right, modern transportation, and modern medicine. Before all of that, all right, people's quality of lives were really, really low, and there isn't a lot of products to be had to solve life's problems like electricity, like heat, like air conditioning, like transportation, like medicine, like computers, like telephone, okay? So post-industrialization, right, we have factories with employees, and crank the factory open, all right, we have a steam engine, okay, taking your coal and burning water into steam and create power and then get the factory running, the machine of the factory running. The machinery of the factory is running 24/7, and there are workers on the line producing whatever it is that this factory produces. And we now have abundance of merchandise, of products, all right? So the products need to be sold, okay? First, you sell them in your local markets, okay? Next, you got to sell them to further and further away, right? Now, what about people who have not heard of these new products, this new category of products, okay? People have never seen electricity, have never seen automobile, have never seen a computer, have never seen telephone, okay? Have never seen what have you. So you need to explain to them, okay, what this product is and how this product is going to benefit you. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to make it easier for you to do your job, to make more money, and then make your life more comfortable, right? So that's why we have sales and marketing. It's a result of industrialization. It's an honorable profession because it facilitates commerce. It matches a willing buyer with a willing seller, okay? And the matching is based on explaining the benefit of the product. And it's based on the need of human nature. It's based on how humans understand things, right? And it's completely based on science. And it's based on human necessity. And of course, okay, just like any science, any engineering, any technology, it can be used for good or for evil, right? Is the knife good or evil? No, the knife is morally neutral. It's up to you how you use the knife. You're going to use the knife for good or you're going to use the knife for evil. Same thing with the gun, right? Same thing with the car, same thing with the computer, same thing with the internet, right? Same thing with printing, same thing with anything and everything. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil, all right? Are there any salespeople with moral value that you don't agree with, and then they go on there and then sell things to people using hype, okay, using dirty tricks, sell things that people don't need to people, overpriced things to people, get them to buy things they don't need and pay with money they don't have? Yes, there are salespeople out there like that. And everyone has fallen into victim to them, okay, be it a small ticket item or a large ticket item. Oh, maybe it's okay for you to buy the basic model, the simple model. The simple model is a necessity. But then the salesperson sold you a whole bunch of add-ons, so you end up buying the top of the line model that's twice as much money with a whole bunch of features that you don't really need. It's not necessary, okay? So those phenomena do happen. But that doesn't mean that sales is not an honorable profession, okay? Just because someone learned martial arts and use it to pick fights in bars, it doesn't mean that martial art in itself is evil, okay? As a matter of fact, if you sign up to join any martial arts school, the first thing the trainer will tell you is don't use what we teach you here to go out there and pick fights in bars, right? That's not what we are all about, okay? We teach you martial arts so you use it for good, okay? If you use it for evil, okay, we will come chase you down, okay, and teach you a lesson. So sales and marketing, okay, it's an honorable profession, is a necessity of modern life. It's part of industrialization. It's bridge making. It's matchmaking, okay, helping buyers with sellers, people who need those products with people who are providing those products, right? It's facilitating the functioning of our modern society. Without sales, right, there will be so many products out there that can solve your daily problems. You're just not aware of their existence. And then you go on enjoying your pain and the suffering of not having that problem. Have you ever bought a software that solved your problem? Have you ever bought a hardware that solved your problem? Have you ever had a plumbing leak in your house and then you went to the hardware store and then there has this merchandise been sitting there? Okay, it's only $5, it's only $50, and you purchased it. You came home, you installed it, and your plumbing problem is now fixed. Okay, have you ever had a leaky toilet and you went out there and you bought something that you sealed the leak? Okay, some chemical or whatever, right? So what if you never got a chance to learn about those chemicals that can seal the leak of your toilet? Okay, so if you have hang-ups, if you think sales and marketing is not an honorable profession, it can be. It is. Okay, even though some people use it for bad, but you are going to use it for good, right? So get over the hang-up, okay? And we're going to learn the science of sales and marketing in this class. Before we talk about the science of sales and marketing, we have to talk about the science of how humans, Homo sapiens, make decisions. All right? Think of the decisions we all make from small to big. Okay? What to have for lunch when we go to a international food court with 10, 20 different choices. All right? And should we go to college at all? What do we major when we are an undergrad in university? Which university do we attend? And who do you date? And which company do you work for upon graduation? All right. Who do you marry? When do you marry? All right. Should you buy a house? Which house to buy? And should you have a kid? How many kids? And which car to buy? All of this, okay, are they rational decisions? Are they? Now, if you look at Homo sapiens evolutionarily, okay, using a science-based analytical method, okay, through the lens of human evolution, okay, look at our closest evolutionary cousins, or even our distant evolutionary cousins. Do you see chimps and monkeys make rational decisions, or do you see them being mostly emotional? All right? Chimps are more like, I want my bananas and I want them now. Don't you ever take away my bananas from me. Have you seen monkeys get upset because the other monkey is getting more food or better food, right? So the truth is, Homo sapiens make decisions emotionally, just like how we have been over the past thousands, millions of years. We make decisions emotionally, and then we use our neocortex to backward justify, to backward rationalize our decisions. All right? Now, go back to our previous examples. Let's say you work in the office on a lunchtime, you go to the shopping mall nearby to go to the international food court with 10, 20 different selections for you to choose from, okay? There's hamburger, there's pasta, there's pizza, there's stromboli, there's taco, there's burrito, there's Korean noodles, there's Japanese noodles, there's Chinese fried rice, okay, there's Chinese fried noodles, and there's Chinese fried rice noodle, there's Vietnamese noodles, okay? There's like a gazillion, all right? So there's like 10, 20 outlets, okay, trying to get your business to serve you lunch, all right? How do you make a decision? You walk around, all right, and then you choose based on which one you feel like. It's a complete emotional choice, all right? And then you chose your food. Do you want to choose something to drink? Again, it's an emotional decision. You want to drink water, soda, diet soda, okay, iced tea, or coffee, or what have you. It's all an emotional decision. Same thing with bigger decisions, all right? Who do you date? Who do you date? Okay, who do you marry? Is that a logical decision or is that an emotional decision? All right? What do you major during your undergrad? Okay, if you don't feel like studying electrical engineering, you're not going to do it. Okay? If you don't feel like study accounting, you're just not going to do it. Nobody can force you to study accounting. All right? I mean, they could, but you're just not going to put up some very, very good resistance. And what about which company to work for upon graduation? All right. What about which city to live? What about who do you propose to get married with? What about which house to buy? What about which car to buy? What about how many kids to have? All of these biggest decisions in our lives, they are all made emotionally, and then we use our logical thinking ability to backward justify, to backward rationalize. Let that fact sink in. Okay? That is the science of how humans make decisions from small to big. All right? Even science itself. Okay? We use logical thinking, logical deduction, okay, to study science. We observe, we hypothesize, we theorizing, and then we design a test to test our theory, and then we repeat. It's called the scientific method. We keep on observing, hypothesizing, theorizing, and then experimenting and repeat. All right? Why do we do that? It's to eliminate all the emotions in our thinking by doing tests, by designing different tests to find out the so-called unconscious bias that we are not conscious about because it's our emotion. Okay? So the scientific method is trying to be as logical, as rational as possible. But why do we engage in studying science? Is that a rational reason? Okay? No, it's an emotional reason. We want to study science. We study science because of curiosity, because we want to find out how the universe we are in operates. We want to find out the operating principles of the universe. That is curiosity, right? That is a very, very deep emotional reason, right? We want to find out how the universe operates so we can turn the lever. We can create environments that's better for us, right? We want to understand physics, temperature, weather, so we can build houses, right, to provide warmth in winter and then shield us from the heat in summer, all right? We want to understand science so we can produce better transportation devices, communication devices. The reasons for science and engineering, they are all emotional. The method to do science and engineering is all logical, or as logical as we possibly can. But the reasons are all emotional. And the pain and the pleasure plays a huge part in our decision-making process. Okay? In particular, short-term pain, short-term pleasure. Long-term pain and long-term pleasure. Okay? Wise people, people who are mature, people who are self-disciplined, okay, they try as hard as they can to endure short-term pain in order to gain long-term pleasure. Okay? People who lack maturity, people who lack self-discipline, they think they are entitled to indulge as much short-term pleasure as possible. Okay? All that present, immediate, hedonistic indulgence, right? They think they're entitled to as much of those as possible. And they don't think about the long-term pain they will have to endure as a result of their short-term pleasure seeking. Okay? Human decisions are all based on pain and pleasure. Except wise people, they got burned when they were young. They've been taught by their parents or by their parental figures, by their teachers. Okay? So they try to control themselves by avoiding, okay, short-term pleasure in order to gain long-term pleasure, in order to avoid long-term pain. And this is an open secret that anyone and everyone who is wise, who is emotionally mature, who is emotionally intelligent, knows about it. Okay? All the wise teachers, all the wise old community leaders, grandpa, grandma, okay, of the family, grandpa, grandma of the neighborhood, the elderly gentleman and then the elderly grandma of the block, the street, the neighborhood, they all know about this. And they all use this, okay, as a principle for them to guide young people, young students, younger generation. When younger generation come to older generation seeking advice, seeking help. And this is how the older generation who's been through the pain, they know what to do or what not to do. And they use this to lead their communities, their families, their clans. Successful business owners, okay, effective leaders in the corporate world, or managers in the corporate world, or in any kind of organization, be it private sector, public sector, okay, or parental figures, community leaders, religious leaders, okay, even political leaders, they all know this. And this is their secret. All right? And they're not going to tell you about it. And they're waiting for you to figure this stuff out for yourself. And the minute you figured this stuff out, you will be welcomed into the leadership class, the leadership club, be it in an organization or in a neighborhood or in a community or in a religious organization, in a community organization, in a neighborhood organization. If you're not aware of this, okay, leadership positions are not open to you. And your business is going to struggle. But the minute you figure this stuff out, you will go places. Leaders who already know this, they will welcome you. They're not going to tell you this. Okay, they're waiting for you to realize this yourself. Okay, this is talked about, for example, in ancient Chinese philosophy. Okay, Buddhism in China all the time is you realized the wisdom yourself. Your teacher did not tell you. The teacher will drop pixie dust or drop hints, but really it's up to you to figure this sort of wisdom out. And once you understand this, you will go places. Now, let's talk about the science of sales and marketing based on the reality of how humans actually are. Okay? And for educational purposes, all right, we're going to make some categories, and these are not by any means hard and fast. It's just to make things easier to explain. It's for educational purposes, all right? So, for educational purposes, there are 3 reasons why people would decide to buy from you. And reason number 3 is your pricing, okay? And the best example is the price of gasoline between different nearby gas stations. And you can realize this is based on pain avoidance and pleasure seeking, which is pricing. Higher price is a pain. Lower price is a pleasure. Number 2, it's logistics. The logistics of how easy or how consistent or how quickly it is to buy from you. If there are 2 methods or 2 delivery methods, one of them is 1 day quicker, but they are pretty much the same price, then we would go for the one that's 1 day quicker. Or take McDonald's, for example, okay? When people are on a road trip, okay, it's highly likely they would go to a McDonald's. Why? Because they're not from here, they're passing through, they need food, and they don't know the quality of all the local places and all the places that's along the route, okay, it's McDonald's. They bought their restaurants at the best locations on the road. So you go to McDonald's, knowing, okay, what quality to expect, all right? The quality other than the long-term nutritional value. Everything else is pretty good, okay? It comes out fast. It tastes the same all over the country, okay? And you roughly know what the prices are going to be, okay? Within 50% ballpark, right? And you roughly know how long it's going to take, right? And you know how it's going to taste, all right? And you know it's going to be clean, right? The chances of you getting food poisoning is not very high. And you know the long-term nutritional value or the lack of long-term nutritional value, all right? It's consistent. So you went into it because of the logistics. Okay, you didn't go in there for long-term nutritional value. You went in there for the logistics. And the number one reason people would buy is because this product or this service will solve their needs, their problems, their pain. That is the number one reason people would buy something. And hence, all the advertising and marketing for this category of reasons, okay, are all content marketing. It's not to tell you about the pricing. It's not to tell you how quick they would deliver. It's to tell you about how this product or this service will solve your problems and solve your pain. And the problem can either be for real or it's just a matter of perception. For example, okay, I'm hungry. I need food now. Okay, that problem is for real. All right, I don't have a roof over my head. That problem is for real. Okay, I don't have transportation to get to my work to earn a living. That problem is for real. Problems can also be just a perception. For example, my coffee is not tasty enough. My coffee is not fancy enough. Or my car is not fancy enough. My car is not fast enough. Okay? My car doesn't open the door for me automatically. My $100,000 car can get from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4 seconds. That's not fast enough. I need a car that can get from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds. And I'm going to pay $200,000 for it. Okay? Unless you're a racing car driver, okay, making money from winning competitions, if your car is to help you to get from A to B, just like the rest of us on the streets, okay, you take your car from your home to your office, that is not a real problem, but a problem in your perception. All right? And this can just get cranked up and up and up. Okay? My car is $200,000. It gets from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. That's not fast enough. I need something faster. 2 seconds from 0 to 60. So I need to pay $100,000. No, $1 million for the car that will knock it down for 1 second from 0 to 60. Once again, if you're a racing car driver, you want to win competitions, that is a real problem. But if you just like the rest of us, use your car from A to B, that is a problem of perception. But either way, okay, to us, observer, it may look like a real problem or a perception problem. But in the mind of the prospect, okay, to them, that problem is not a perception. That problem is for real. This is very important for a salesperson, for a marketer to understand. Because a lot of times, to them, it's a real problem, but to you, it's a perception of a problem. And you miss out on so much opportunity, which we'll explain later. And then there's the borderline part real, part perception. For example, I don't have time to cook. Is that for real or is that the perception? It's both. Yes, you don't have time to cook now. You don't have time to cook today. But what about next week, next month? Are you not able to improve your time management, your planning skills? So you will have time to cook next week and next month. So this is part real and part perception. Again, to the prospect, It's all for real. There's no such thing as the problem only exists in the mind. But to you, the marketer, the salesperson, you need to understand the difference in your head, in your logic thinking. Okay? Sales, a lot of it, sales and marketing, is to use your logical, analytical skill to analyze other people's emotion, other people's feelings. But be they real, be they perception, be they borderline, be they half-half, it must be a pain. It can be a pain of a pain, or it can be a pain created in the mind by longing for pleasure. For example, I wish I wasn't in the office. I wish I was at Disneyland. I wish I was on the beach right now. Okay? That is a pain created by longing for pleasure, or not wanting to endure what is now. Not being present because present is boring. All right? Present is not exciting. So much of what people call pain in modern life, right? When we have running water, electricity, modern transportation, internet, computer, so much of what we call pain as a modern society is lack of excitement. Okay? Lack of excitement can create so much pain in people's modern lives. This is what marketer calls boredom. People are bored. So you need to inject excitement in their lives, be it your product or your marketing or your content marketing. It cannot be boring. It's got to be exciting. Exciting to them, to your product, to your prospects. And we talked about long-term pain and a short-term pain. Long-term pleasure, short-term pleasure. Some people who are smart, so they endure short-term pain in exchange for long-term pleasure. Some people who lack wisdom, they indulge in short-term pleasure and ended up having to endure long-term pain. Okay, we talked about that. Now, there's another way for you to categorize pain and pleasure, which is pain and pleasure when it comes to making money. Okay, when it comes to working, when it comes to earning, versus pain and pleasure when it comes to living, spending money. Okay, luxury, not working, not making money. Now, pain and pleasure when it comes to working, when it comes to earning money, is you're not making enough money, or your way of making money is too difficult, too painful, too not efficient, okay, too much trouble, too much BS. And in their mind, their effort versus their return is out of whack. They put in too much effort and not generating enough return. So those are all pains that you can help them to identify and then sell them your product or your service. Right? Now, in living, okay, we're talking about modern industrialized societies. All right? The pain is a lack of excitement. All right? My coffee is not fancy enough. My coffee is not tasty enough. Okay? It's never, I can't get coffee. Or I can't get drinking water. I can't get fresh drinking water. That's not a problem within modernity, not with the industrialized nations. Okay? The problems with industrialized nations when it comes to consumption, spending money, is not exciting enough. All right. And then both in a category of making money versus the category of spending money, okay, the problem can be both for real or it's just a matter of perception, especially in the category of spending money. Like, my coffee is not exciting enough, or my way of making coffee is too troublesome to me. Okay, the worst, okay, method of making coffee, okay, in the 21st century is still easier than any method back in 150 years ago, in the late 1800s. Okay, but people's perception has changed. All right, so even if the easiest way to make coffee back in the late 1800s is going to be viewed as not acceptable, too much trouble by people in the 21st century. So it's people's perception, how they came upon that perception, what are they comparing with, what is their reference point. You need to understand all of this better than them. If they understand this better than you, you're not going to be able to sell them anything because you don't understand their feeling, their thinking. You have to understand their thinking and their feeling better than them, right? Having perspective, having a better reference point on their thinking and on their feeling. That is your job as a salesperson, as a marketing person. Have you ever seen any TV infomercials? It's an hour long, okay? It can be a set of knives. It can be a vacuum cleaner. It can be a mattress. But they all follow the same formula, okay? Stage 1 is, don't you hate it? Your knife is not sharp enough. Your vacuum cleaner doesn't suck. Your mattress is too firm, too soft, too whatever. This is describing their pain. Okay? Is you are acknowledging, you understanding their pain. Okay? You can feel their pain. You're describing their pain back to them. All right? And then next step is introducing new product. Check out this new set of knives. Check out this new vacuum cleaner. Check out this new mattress. See how much sharper this new set of knives are? See how much more powerful this new vacuum cleaner is? And see how much better or softer, firmer, or what have you this new mattress is? See how happy these people are using these new knives? Okay? Previously, they were not able to cut this, but now they can cut this plus more. And check out these new people using this new vacuum cleaner. Previously, they couldn't suck up this and that and the other. Now they can suck up not only this and that and the other, but also yada, 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 yada. And look at this new mattress. Okay, look at how happy these people are. They're waking up happy, refreshed, because they had a wonderful night of sleep. Okay, that is a formula of infomercials. And step 3 of the infomercial is call to action. Okay, all you need is to make 3 easy payments of $99.99 plus shipping and handling. Call this number, okay, and we'll be delivering it to you, and yada yada yada. It's call to action. That's the 3rd step. So using the formula of the infomercial, okay, this is how the message of your sales and marketing should be. You must start by describing their pain and their suffering. Okay? If you don't describe their pain and their suffering, you cannot go on to the next step. because of human nature. Human nature has it that if you either intentionally or accidentally make other people feel you understand their pain, you understand their suffering, they like you, and they assume you have the solution to their problems. Human nature also has it. If you either intentionally or accidentally made them feel you don't care about their pain and then their suffering, you don't want to know about their pain and then their suffering, okay, they will reject anything else you have to say, including you trying to offer them solutions to solve their problems. Okay? It's called let them eat cake. If you don't know that story, Google, look it up. Okay? Let them eat cake. It resulted in the French king getting his head cut off. Okay, so don't either intentionally or unintentionally make your prospects feel you cannot feel their pain and then their suffering. Put in the effort to truly understand their pain and then their suffering. Even if the pain is perception. It's perception in your mind. But to them, the pain is for real. My coffee is not exciting enough. Okay? The pain is less to do with my coffee is not exciting enough, but it's more to do with other people are drinking coffee that's more exciting than my coffee. Other people are having a more exciting life than my life. Other people are doing things that's more exciting than the things I am doing. I am missing out. It's the fear of missing out. Okay? To them, that's for real and it's pain, and they're looking for a solution. And the solution is coffee that's more exciting than my current coffee. So, to sum it up, you must acknowledge their pain and you must let them know that you understand, you can feel their pain and their suffering, even if their pain and their suffering is nothing but a perception. Next step is you offer your solution, which is your product, your service you're trying to sell them. Okay? And instead of focusing on the features of your product and your service, okay, you must focus on the benefit of your product, of your service, the benefit to them. What pain are they going to no longer endure, and what pleasure are they going to start enjoying after they start using your product and or your service? Get them to envision, to imagine themselves living a different life, a better life, a next page of their lives, a next chapter of their lives, of enjoying the benefits of your product and your service. Get them to envision that. And describe the pain and then the pleasure with certainty. Okay? Certainty from you is extremely important. And you can't fake certainty. This is why you can only sell products and services that you personally actually believe that will benefit your prospects. Okay? Faking it, you're just not going to make the sale. Okay? I asked them what's going to happen to their lives if they continue to take no action, they let the situation continue, or they let the situation to deteriorate. What is going to happen to their lives? All right? I have a dog, okay, that bit me, bit my children, or bit the neighbor, okay? Well, what's going to happen if you don't take action? All right? And I have a car that's broken down and it's getting worse and worse all the time. All right. So what's going to happen if you don't take action? I have a roof that's leaking. Okay. What's going to happen to you if you don't take action? All right. And I got lung cancer. And what's going to happen if you don't quit smoking? All right. You let them to use their imagination, so they put the pressure on themselves. You're not using high pressure sales tactics. You are just letting them using their own imagination to come to the realization what's going to happen to them if they take no action. That's what you do here. And remember, it's all about pain and pleasure. And pain is a much more effective motivator than pleasure. And pain avoidance is an extremely effective motivator, okay? And should be utilized in all your sales and marketing efforts. Pain avoidance. So to sum it up, you intellectually understand their pain or their perception of a pain. You understand their pain deeper and better than themselves. And you let them know that you understand their in pain. And this way you gain their trust. And they would assume you have the solution to them. Next step, you introduce your product or your service, which will solve their pain for them and give them pleasure, right? And the features will derive benefits for them. And you explain this with certainty because you truly believe the product will solve their pain and give them the pleasure that they are seeking. And you ask them questions, probing questions. Essentially, what's going to happen to their lives if they take no action? And get them to envision the pain getting more and more acute, stronger and stronger and bigger pain if they don't take action. And then you go for a call to action. Okay? And that's a quick summary of it. It's based on science, based on the science of human motivation, the science of how humans make decisions. Now, let's use fast food and many of the products and services associated and beyond fast food as an educational example to illustrate the concepts that we talked about previously even further. All right? To begin with, there is fast food. There is people craving for fast food. There's people craving for fast food right now. There are people looking for fast food right now, in the next half an hour, in the next 10 minutes. Okay? There are people looking for cheaper fast food. There are people looking for more tasty fast food. And then there are people looking for fast food turned into luxury food, like high-priced hamburgers in a fancy restaurant format. All right? And then there are people looking for ways to have food quickly. And there are people looking for other means of lunch at work. For example, they bring their own food. They bring their own lunch, right? And If the office has a microwave, that'll be great. If the office does not, they be making recommendations to the company, to HR, asking for a microwave. And then, moving away from that, there are people who are realizing the long-term health concerns with too much fast food. And so they want food that's quickly, but has long-term health concern into consideration of the food. And then there are people who want to think about how do I provide myself with food? Okay, how do I cook my own food? How do I bring my own food that's cheaper and healthier to work? And then there are people who are realizing, I don't have time to cook. Okay, that was my old mindset. Okay, it was because I lack time management. So they realized what they need is time management skills. And then they study a little bit of a time management, and then they realize time management, it's all about self-management. And self-management, it's all about managing our own emotions. It's all about emotion management. Okay? So they got into studying emotional intelligence for themselves, which becomes emotional maturity study for themselves. So they started with fast food, looking for fast food, and then realizing they need to eat something that's healthier, and then they realized it's being able to cook, okay? And then they realized they don't cook is because they lack time management skills, and they realized that they lack time management skills is because they lacked self-discipline, and then they realized it's because they lacked emotional maturity. Okay, and then they realized they need to study self-development. And then they realized they've been studying self-development on their own. All right. And then they look back, they realized, over the past 6 months, over the past 1 year, all right, I started eating fast food less and less. It used to be 5 days a week, all right, twice a day, 7 days a week, down to just twice a week, down to just once a week, down to just once a month, down to I quit that stuff altogether. Okay, I quit sugary soda. Okay, I moved down to diet soda, and then I even successfully quit diet soda. Yeah, making progress every day. Okay, so along the chain, all right, there are plenty of products and services you can sell them. Okay, you need to sell them the product or the service that they are thinking, all right? So, for example, when they are hungry and they're looking for fast food in the next 3 minutes, in the next 5 minutes, okay? Is that the right time to sell them self-development, sell them emotional maturity, sell them time management? No, okay? There are companies selling fast food, and they're very good at it, all right? This is their niche. This is the niche that they are targeting. Faster fast food. Cheaper fast food. All right? There are even restaurants, right, tapping into this niche, which is fast food, okay, expensive. Fast food, luxury. Taste even more tasty than cheap fast food. And we're going to charge you a premium price for it. Okay. Now, this is probably not gonna be for lunchtime. It's probably gonna be a restaurant on Friday night and Saturday night. So where are they at? Okay. Where is they at emotionally, psychologically for now? Okay. So let's say if they are beginning to realize the lack of long-term health benefit with fast food, right? This is the time that you can sell them nutritious food, or education on nutrition. All right? Because this is a conversation that they are having. They're beginning to realize they need to move away from fast food and start eating things that are healthier. All right? Now, if you go to inside of a fast food restaurant, okay, some busy workers are busy eating fast food, and you try to sell them nutrition eating, they are going to tune you out. They are going to hate you. They're going to resent you because that's not where the mind is at. Not yet. Maybe over time, they will gradually move to getting something that's more nutritious. All right? And then as they try to get something more nutritious, they are realizing, I don't have the time. Okay, with fast food, I don't have to plan ahead. But if I want to eat something that's more nutritious, I need to plan ahead. So it's time management I need to acquire. It's time management skills I need to acquire. So this is the right time to sell them time management training or time management products, okay, a time management studies, because you're entering a conversation that they are already having in their minds. And as they get into studying time management, okay, they are beginning to realize it's not about calendars and planners and making plans, because you make those plans, you don't follow them. Why? Because your emotion is not in the right state to do the actions that's listed on your planner. And then gradually they're realizing, time management is all about self-management. I can't manage time. Time just takes away. That's external. The only thing I can manage is internal, is myself. And the only thing I can manage is my own emotions. And the way to manage my emotions is to understand all the triggers and all the thoughts associated with those triggers. Right? And then they realized it's emotional intelligence on themselves, which becomes emotional maturity, emotional depth, okay? And then they realized there's no direct, immediate control to order themselves to change their emotion, all right? When you take someone to Alaska in January, when it's minus a million degrees outside, cold, 10 feet of snow, okay, you tell them to get out of the hotel front lobby at 2 in the morning wearing nothing but t-shirts. They are going to feel cold. There's no point telling them don't be cold. They are going to feel cold, okay? So the way to manage that is don't get out of the hotel lobby at 2 in the morning, January, Alaska, when it's a million degrees outside and wearing nothing but a t-shirt. That's maturity, okay? That's being not stupid, okay? So once they realize, so I need to have emotional depth, so I will prevent or prearrange the conditions, so I will feel the way I want to feel, but not feel the way I don't want to feel, okay? Prevention, longer term planning, okay? How to use my feeling of pain and pleasure, short-term pain and short-term pleasure. How do I utilize that for me? Make that for me, not against me, all right? Use pain and pleasure, get pain and pleasure to work for me. Okay, avoid having pain and pleasure working against me. That's emotional maturity. This is the time you tell them, you sell them self-development, all right? Get to the next level kind of educational products, all right? So to sum it up, you must and you can only enter a conversation they are already having in their minds. And then they will be thinking, this product is for me because this is what I'm thinking about. The further away your product, your service, and your marketing material is further away from their current conversation, the harder it is for you to sell them something, the more likely it is that you will push them away. They might even get offended and associate you with insult, with pain, with disagreement, and they will tune you out not only for now, but for the longest time. All right? So imagine if someone is seeking fast food right now, and you want to sell them emotional maturity education. You want to sell them a self-development education. That is a long way away. All right? And every step of the way, not only do you potentially lose them, okay, you run the great risk of ticking them off and pushing them away. They are in a fast food restaurant just paying for their burger and they're about to eat it and they're hungry and they need to get back to work. They only have 45 minutes. And you jump in there to tell them, look, this hamburger is not healthy for you for the long term, okay? And you need to stop eating this. You need to learn how to plan your meals, how to cook healthy meals. You need to learn planning. You need to learn time management. You need to learn emotional self-control, emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. You need to get on the path of self-development. They're going to be offended. They're going to be ticked off. They're going to hate you, okay? That is not the best time to enter that conversation. That is not a conversation they are already having in their minds. All right. Now, after eating fast food, they've been putting on some weight. Okay, they become slow, and then they realize the downside of sugar, salt, fast food. And they're beginning to think about eating something more healthy. Now that's the time to sell them healthy eating. Okay, meals prepared for you, a healthy alternative to fast food, fast but healthy. Before that, okay, they're looking for faster, quicker hamburgers. You sell them faster, quicker hamburgers. Okay, so your marketing message, you have to enter a conversation that they are already having in their minds. You are here to understand their pain and their perception of pain. Okay? For example, the person who's looking for fast food, okay, his pain is, I'm hungry right now. I want that feeling to disappear, right? And his perception is there is no fast food. You're not here to change their perception, at least no more than one step. All right? The person who realizes that fast food is not good for him in the long term from a health perspective, okay, he's realizing he needs to eat something healthier, all right? He's ready to buy some food that's healthier, be it a healthy version of fast food, or be it meals made ready for you, delivered to you, okay? And so he's still under the perception of, I have no time, but I want to eat something that's better for my health in the long run than fast food. So that's what you're going to deliver. You're going to try to sell to him. And then if he gets into, I want to cook my own, but I don't have the time, that's when you sell him either cooking recipes, okay, or what to buy, where to buy them, okay? And then he realizes, oh, actually, it's time management. That's when you sell him time management. You must enter a conversation that they are already having in their minds. Otherwise, they will tune you out. You must address the current acute pain that they are having. Okay? just to get them to want to hear what you have to say. If you're too many steps away from their current immediate pain and suffering, be it real or perceived, they will tune you out, and your marketing will become worse than a waste of time. They will hate you, and even when you come back to them later, they will not want to hear what you have to say, because the perception has been set in their mind, which is you are someone that they hate. You are someone who does not understand their pain and their suffering. You are someone who doesn't care about their pain and their suffering. Therefore, they hate you. Therefore, no matter what you say, before or now or in the future, they have already decided they hate you and they don't want to prove themselves wrong. Human nature has it. Most people don't want to admit to the public or to themselves they have been wrong. Smart people, wise people have no problem admitting they've been wrong. That's what makes them smart, what makes them wise, and what makes them rare. Now, let's talk about sales from an engineering point of view, from an engineering perspective. Let's analyze or explain or dissect sales, or the sales process, or the sales mindset from an engineering point of view, as if you were an engineer, okay? And we're going to be talking about it using 4 different points, all right? Point number 1 is, I'm sure you've heard of consultative sales, all right? Especially for big ticket items. And the sales process is consultative, all right? And this can be illustrated using medicine, or as if you're a doctor, or engineering, as if you're a engineer. Let's say you're a medical doctor, all right? And here comes a person who says they're sick, okay? As a medical doctor, what do? Do you start writing prescription? Do you start operating? No, right? You perform your diagnostics, all right? You diagnose what the problem is before you prescribe what the treatment is. And how do you diagnose the problem, right? You observe the patient, and you ask the patient some questions, and you examine the patient. You do some tests as well. And once you finally figured out what is the underlying issue, okay, what the illness is, what the disease is, and then you will prescribe your solution, your treatment. In terms of sales, right, your treatment, your solution is the product you're selling. It's the service you're selling, right? Your product, your service, your solution, it's not one size fit all, especially if it's a bigger ticket item. It only fits the situation, the condition of certain people, certain situations, certain organizations, not everybody. So what do? You consult. You ask questions. You learn about them. You see if their situation is a good fit for your solution. Same with engineering, all right? Let's say if you are a designer of bridges, okay? You want to know what are the client's needs. Same thing with if you're a software engineer. You want to know what are their needs? What are the problems they're trying to solve? What are the problems they're trying to automate? Or in terms of the bridge, okay, what are their transportation requirements? Is this a bridge for a pedestrian? Is this a bridge for bicycles? Is this a bridge for cars? Is this a bridge for trucks? Is this a bridge for trains? And also, how long is the bridge? And what's the weather like where this bridge is located? Is it near the equator? Is the weather going to be hot? Or is it way up north that snows during winter? And how long is the winter in this place? Is that a 3-month winter? Is that a 9-month winter? How cold does it get? All right. And is there a slow river, a seasonal river, or a raging torrent of a river? What's the riverbed like? Can you drill down into it? Is it solid? Or you have to use some kind of a suspension technology between both banks, and so on and so forth. Okay? So sales, especially selling big ticket items, the whole sales process is very consultative. It's just like a medical doctor, just like an engineer, be it civil engineering or software engineering. You are talking, you are asking questions, you want to learn about your client's situation, and you want to make a good match. Your solution must match the client's needs, right? And then they will buy from you. If it's not a good match for the client, they're not going to buy from you, and you're not going to make a sale. So be consultative, just like medicine, just like engineering. And this applies to if you're selling any kind of a business solution. Even a home solution. Are you selling whatever curtain or air conditioning system, a heating system, a hot water system, right? You need to talk to the client, be it a homeowner or a office facility manager, right? Or a shopping mall manager. You want to learn their challenges and their needs. And then you're going to see if your solution will fit their needs to solve their problems. If out of your 3 or 10 products, or if you 10, 20 solutions, you have one that you can tailor make for them, custom built for them to solve their needs. So selling big ticket items is consultative, just like medicine, just like engineering, and just like business consulting. And the second point we need to talk about when it comes to the engineering of sales, or looking at sales from an engineering lens, okay, is, are you prospects aware of your product? For example, okay, when a automobile manufacturing company design and release a new model, no one has heard of this new model, okay? People will not be Googling or using a search engine to search for things they have never heard of. Same thing with a Hollywood studio that they just made a brand new movie and they need to release it. No one has ever heard of this movie, so nobody is going to be using a search engine to search for this movie. Think of the classical situations whereby when a car company released a hybrid for the first time, okay? It's driven partly by the internal combustion engine, and then there's a battery, and then there's an electric motor. So when you come to a stop at the traffic light, okay, your kinetic energy is not wasted into heat, is turned into electrical energy, and then turned into chemical energy, and that's stored in the battery. And that's something that no one has ever heard of at the time when this type of vehicles was first released onto the market. All right, nobody is gonna be searching for it. Okay, same thing with a brand new movie. Nobody has ever heard of this new movie that's coming up, and so nobody's gonna be searching for it. So where would you market, advertise your brand new product that nobody has ever heard of? Okay. As for automobiles, for cars, car manufacturers would advertise on car magazines. And today's car magazines are basically automobile review YouTube channels. That's where they get automotive journalists to come to the car and then take it out for a test drive and then review it. They also launch them at car shows, be it whatever Los Angeles car show, Geneva car show, or Tokyo car show. And that's where they will launch this brand new vehicle to introduce the new and the unique features and their benefits to prospective car buyers and also to journalists so they can talk about it. So where would they market a brand new movie that has just been made and no one has ever heard of? Well, some of the places are in theaters, in movie theaters, right? They call it coming attractions. This is after people have sat down, they got their popcorn, got their soda, right? You run a couple of advertising and then you dim the light to the first level and then you say coming attractions. And then you introduce 3 or 5 upcoming new movies that's going to be coming up in the next week or the next month or this summer. Okay, invading a theater near you. This new blockbuster, you got to come and watch. So here are some of the scenes, the murder, the car chase, and the explosion. Come and see it. And then you also introduce the latest movie that's coming up on YouTube and so on and so forth. Okay. Now people are aware of this vehicle. People are aware of this movie. Okay. Local dealerships would be advertising, we now have this brand new model in stock. Okay. Come to our dealership to see the vehicle, to test drive it. And then local movie theaters would be advertising session details. All right. So for the next 2 weeks, right, this movie is going to be on, right, at the theater near you from 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., so on and so forth. Here are all the session details. That's if people are already aware of this product or this service. So where are you at? Where is the level of your prospects' awareness in their head when it comes to your product and your service? It is something that they know. They know exactly what that is. Or it is something that they have no idea what that is. Just imagine, okay, when Chinese food first came to America, okay, that was the late 1800s. Now imagine again when Japanese food first came to America, and fish that's not cooked. That is bizarre, okay, to the minds of the locals here in America. And I've been to a Japanese restaurant, okay, in Omaha, Nebraska, which is the Midwest, in the mid-2000s, right? And it says sashimi, so I ordered it. And when it came, it was cooked. So I called the manager and said, why did you cook your sashimi? And he said, oh, you look on the menu says New World Sashimi. Basically, the owner here, they know that the notion of fish, not cooked, okay, to their customers in Midwest, Nebraska, Omaha, okay, in the mid-2000s, it can be too far of a stretch, right? So to these customers coming to a Japanese restaurant, it's still new and exciting, and you don't want to push them too far, all right? You don't want to shove fish, not cooked, okay, to them. To them, that's 1 or 2 steps too far. That's a bridge too far, okay? To the customers on both the East Coast and the West Coast of the U.S., yeah, that's, everybody knows, Japanese food, okay, fish, not cooked, all right? No problem. But to the crowd, okay, in the middle of Nebraska, to them, it's still a bit of a excitement. It's new. Okay, it's a little adventure. We go into a place that we don't eat with fork and knife. We're going to eat with chopsticks. Yeah, new. But then if you present fish that's not cooked to them, that can be too far for them. Okay, so you need to understand, where is your customer at in terms of being aware, of being familiar, of being acceptable to your product, your service, and your marketing, your advertising needs to be based on their level of awareness, their level of acceptance about your product, your service. Point number 3, when it comes to analyzing sales from an engineering point of view, is the sales process. The entire marketing and then sales process is a matter of filtering in and filtering out. Okay? It's to filter out people who are not your customers. Okay, your prospective customers, people who are not in need of your product. All right, is to filter in the right customers, those who are ready, who are more likely to purchase your product and your service. If you spend way too much of your time on folks who are way too out from getting ready to buy, you are wasting a lot of your energy. That is not the best use of your time. And therefore, it's more efficient to design a process whereby you use as much automation as possible, like technology, internet, email, video, or what have you, okay, to only attract in people who are likely to make a purchase, people who are likely in need of your product, willing to buy with the money to buy, and keeping people who are not going to buy outside of your system, because they're never going to buy anyway. Okay? Let's say if you want to sell, using the example above, okay, Japanese food, okay, raw fish, okay, to people who only eat hamburgers. If it's not a hamburger, don't talk to me about it. You're wasting your time. And the opposite can also be true, okay? I met people who grew up on a farm, all right, eating nothing but hamburgers, all right, in their younger years. And now they are adult, they're no longer living on a farm, okay? Their policy of their personal diet is anything but a hamburger. So if they absolutely refuse to eat any more hamburgers for the rest of their lives because they grew up on a farm, they don't want to do that anymore, okay? You're wasting your time trying to market, trying to promote your hamburger doesn't matter how fast, how cheap, how fancy, how nice to them. They have already turned hamburgers off completely. Okay? So your marketing, your sales is a filtering process with many, many steps. And you try to use as much automation as possible to filter out people who are never going to buy your products, and then filter in people who are more and more likely to make a purchase. The fourth point of learning sales and marketing using an engineering mindset, okay, is the topic of multiply yourself, right? Yes, it is more efficient if you speak to 10 customers at the same time as opposed to just one customer. It is more efficient if you can speak to a crowd of 100 people as opposed to just 10 people. This is when you do your initial presentation, all right? And it is even more efficient if you can outsource that to technology, like producing a video or sending out a bunch of emails, all right? Or write a nice text to explain the features and then the benefits of your product, your service to your prospective customers. So multiplying yourself will help you to multiply your incoming leads and will help you to multiply your sales numbers. And there's something very important about addressing multiple people or addressing multiple people over technology, video, email, or just a website. That is, even though your presentation, your live presentation, your video, your email is designed, okay, you know it's going to be heard or read or listened to by lots and lots of people. But you want to craft your message and then the delivery of your message, okay, both content and delivery, in a way so the audience feel you're talking to them one-on-one, individually. Okay, this is extremely important when it comes to multiplying yourself, be it talking to a large crowd, giving out your sales presentation to a large crowd, or using technology like video or like email. And yes, whenever possible, okay, you should think about how to use technology instead of doing the live presentation. All right, live presentation has its own benefits, but the beauty of technology, video, websites, emailing, or what have you, is you can be doing your presentation while you're sleeping. And then the prospects, they can be receiving, consuming your presentation, right? Learning about your products or your services while you are sleeping and at their best time, the best time that's most suitable to them. This is especially true if you are selling things nationally or internationally with different time zones. So by all means, right, utilize as much technology as possible for your endeavor in sales and marketing.